Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
2 Tasmanians tested for the potentially deadly virus have returned negative samples overnight. It means there remains no confirmed cases of the virus in the state. 12 people in Tasmania have been tested so far. Rainbow flags have flown through the streets of Hobart today in the biggest TASPRIDE parade to date. Thousands rallying for greater inclusion in society.
A sea of rainbow flags taking over Hobart streets. Thousands taking part in Tasmania's largest TASPRIDE parade to date.
It's an inclusive time. We need to let everybody know that we're here, we're loud, we're proud. We're not going to lose that.
I guess it's that chance for people to really get out in a really colourful, celebratory way, make a statement, be heard, walk through the streets and know that they've got that space.
Yeah, it's about sharing experience and knowledge of life and understanding what you are and being proud of it.
The parade part of celebrations for Tasmania's LGBTI community, weaving through city streets, culminating in a festival with food, music and information stalls. The festival organised not just for TASPRIDE members but the wider public.
People feel they can be comfortable, they can be themselves, and it just sends a really strong signal to young LGBTI Tasmanians that they'll be accepted in this community.
We just moved from Sydney where there's a really big queer community. And we kind of struggle to find our feet here. And TASPRIDE has been really great because it's a small community, but it's a really engaged community.
Festival organisers are hopeful that it spreads their message of positivity and inclusion.
No, it says, yes, you are welcome. You really are, and it's a great environment for you to enjoy yourself and be part of it.
I think it's really important because it shows that, despite everyone's differences, the community can be together as one.
EBONY, ABBLITT, 7 Tasmania News.
A renowned Tasmanian firefighter has swapped the hose for a paintbrush, capturing the reality of the job through striking pieces of art. Chief Officer Chris Arnol opening his exhibition today, saying he used his own friends and colleagues as his muses.
A firefighter rescuing his fellow comrade from a terrifying blaze. This powerful piece of art, just one of 33, capturing moments from a 4-decade career on canvas.
It's about thinking what's behind the firefighters when they're out there strutting their stuff. It's things that people don't normally see. It's the thoughts and expressions in those moments.
The Tasmania Fire Service top dog, discovering his passion for art as a child, now opening his first solo exhibition to the public today.
Oh, I think the paintings, drawings, I suppose, are just amazing. He's really captured the essence of what the firefighters are all about.
I combined, if you like, my love of my career and my love of art.
The artist mainly using a material he knows all too well.
I've used predominantly charcoal, so it's a bit of a giggle to have firefighters in charcoal, because we're often in charcoal, but charcoal's a great medium for me.
And drawing the familiar faces of colleagues to keep their stories alive.
So, yep, there they are, and they're right now, they're contemporary, but they will be immortalised over time if these things hang around well after I'm gone.
Behind the Heroes will be displayed at Lady Franklin Gallery for the rest of the month. Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
Speeding vessels set sail along Hobart's River Derwent this morning in an historic 89 nautical mile competition. Boats in the annual Bruny Island Yacht Race are expected to cross the finish line throughout the evening.
One of the oldest yacht races in Australia for offshore racing, and we're lucky to have it as part of the Royal Hobart Regatta. We love having it here. They're the big boats, you know, and they put the spinnakers up and head down the river, so it's spectacular. Yeah.
The Royal Hobart Regatta is set to continue over the long weekend. Some of the state's most promising football talents have been pushed to their limits in front of AFL talent scouts in Launceston. Representatives from all 18 clubs casting a watchful eye over local talent, searching for the next future star.
If you've ever wondered how gruelling the journey is to become an AFL footballer, here is just a small insight. Fantastic. 120 budding athletes from the Tasmanian Devils NAB League squads showing off their physical prowess in a series of intense jumping, agility and endurance tests.
It's as much about character as it is about athletic capability, and obviously transferable to the footy field.
Pain written all over faces, but it could pay dividends, with scouts from all 18 AFL clubs eyeing off the next big star.
Certainly with the game being as it is now, size and athleticism, if you have that, yeah, it's certainly an advantage for you.
With many of these players turning 18 in the coming years, there's a possibility they could get snapped up in the draft.
Hit rate for Tassie players playing AFL out of the population is actually quite good.
One that comes to mind readily is Grant Virgil, who played in a number of premierships at Hawthorn.
Or even become the faces of a new AFL team based here in Tassie in as little as 5 years' time.
I think it's something that we'd all like.
Devils management are confident experience will aid their upcoming NAB League campaign.
I know you can't say a hell of a lot until you get into game situations, but the boys are really giving it a really good crack, and I think there's some really positive signs, which is terrific.
They will run onto the park for the first round on March 28. Garth, Burley, 7 Tasmanian News.
For the first time in the history of the Launceston International, Australians will feature in both the men's and women's single finals. Destiny Iava breezed through her match in straight sets against second seed Sasha Vickery, while Alex Boltz had only minor slip-ups against German Daniel Altmaier, powering past him to 6-1, 6-4. Both Aussies will take the centre court in their highly anticipated clashes tomorrow.
Good evening. 27 was the state's top today in Launceston, Devonport 25, 23 in Burnie and Hobart 18. A high of 19 across Lyowini, Ouse and Friendly Beaches, Smithton and Lowhead 24 and Strawn at 26. On the close-up, a low cloud about the east and southeast extending into central parts. Further out, the severe tropical cyclone Damien is located near the northwest coast of WA, with a number of low pressure troughs extending across the north, west and east of the country. Tomorrow, tropical cyclone Damien is expected to move south and weaken, while the high will remain to the southeast of Tasmania. East to southeasterly winds tomorrow 15 to 25 knots, swells up to 2 metres in the west and south and below a metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for northern coastal waters from Sandy Cape to St Helens Point and for southwestern coastal waters from Southeast Cape to Low Rocky Point. Tomorrow's forecast now 22 across Hobart and Richmond, Ouse partly cloudy. In the north, partly cloudy about Launceston and Devonport, 23 in Deloraine. 20 in Burnie tomorrow, looking partly cloudy about Strawn and Curry. Swansea and Whitemark a high of 21, St Helens a cloudy 19. The UV forecast mostly very high 9s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Monday showers about the northeast, Tuesday morning showers about King Island, rain elsewhere, and Wednesday showers mainly about the northeast. Capital cities, a shower or two at Cairns tomorrow, Sydney 22 and Adelaide looking mostly sunny. And currently Hobart mostly cloudy 16, Launceston partly cloudy and 23 and Devonport with a high of 20. And that's all in weather tonight, Louise.
Lovely, thank you for that, Jackie. And that's all your news for now as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.